We're back live here from the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Anna Bellinghausen, Avery Howard, Missy Heydrich alongside with you. Now, our new guest from Denver, Coach Woods. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Awesome.
I like the energy.
How exciting is this? Thank you, first of all, for the energy. How exciting is this event? I mean, just seeing this all come together, and how impressive is this?
It's super impressive, and I think every time I see somebody from the Summit League, I'm really impressed. Oftentimes, you probably don't think of this from a conference this size, but I think they've done a great job. The stations, I'm loving it. I want to bring 2 players next year, so plug for that. But yeah, it's been a great setup, and it's been nice talking about DU hoops.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, give us a little bit of a preview of this season and what we're expecting to see on the court.
Bless it. That's my first one today. You guys should feel special. For us, we are definitely going to be 33s, 30 U shots, 30 shots at the basket. We've been really working on trying to pick up our tempo. The team probably doesn't like it. It said there's no need to do like a testing conditioning drill when you get back. It doesn't matter. We're going to run anyway. So for us to be at 52-80, we want to run. It's our goal. You have to use a timeout in that first quarter. I'm not interested in walking the ball up the court. We have 5 players on the floor that like versatility, so you have to guard all 5 of us. And surprisingly, they really have embraced the defensive adjustments we made. So hopefully that translates the way that it needs to. But I think from us, you're going to see just a lot of fast-paced basketball, a lot of fun basketball. It's not everybody has a green light, but it's going to be fun. Hopefully we can actually put the ball in the basket this year.
When you talk about being the top 3-point shooting team a year ago in this league, averaged almost 8.5 a game, then a lot of that, though, comes down to you got to get stops on the other end, and then you've got to be able to find shooters. When you look at this roster, think about some of the new faces that you have in your returners, what's been that emphasis to say, all right, is it about distribution? Is it about finding open players? Is it about getting open, relocating? How do you become an even better 3-point shooting team?
Well, we shoot the ball a lot. Our first probably 30 minutes of practice is either layup drills or shooting drills, And then we implemented this year, the right people need to get the right shots.
Yeah.
We're shooting 33s a game, and as a team would tell you, every shot is not for everybody. It is not. So that's the deceptive part. People think like, oh, because she shot it, I can't. Oh, no. Here's the stats, boo. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So you make that extra pass to the corner. We've really tried to be very intentional as a staff of, here's the shooting drills. We added green light this year, so you have to pass 2 drills to kind of have your green light, and that really has helped put it in context. I'm not a huge yelling type, but I do a lot of film, stats, so then it speaks for me. We said we wanted to do X, you got Y, so this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
So we really have done a much better job of trying to clean up offensively. As you mentioned, penetrating kick, things like that fell behind, but getting the right people to take the right shots. So it's a 5-out motion, really trying to look for ways to isolate those that have put in the time to be better shooters.
Yeah.
So that's something that we worked on this year. And defensively, I love defense, but ultimately whoever has the most points win.
Yeah.
So not that it's not important, it definitely is important, but if we can make more 3s than you make 2s, then we're going to win the game anyway.
And as you see that in translating into this league, because there are some high-powered offenses in this Summit League. We just got done talking with Coach Music at Oral Roberts.
Talk about playing fast.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we got to get back.
Between her team and my team, don't forget the basketball.
Because we're going to go.
Yes.
So with that said, then you have to think, well, where can we be most effective, and how does that look? And when you think about scheduling for yourself, and you know that this Summit League is going to be a grind, how did you approach your non-con? I know you've got Wyoming at home. You're going to go to California in late November, early December. What do you want to see out of this team early, and how did you look at that to get you ready for this Summit League grind?
Absolutely. Well, first starting, when we get our team together in June, we talk about we want to play our best basketball in Summit League play and definitely in March, right? We want to be able to play our best basketball. Our non-conference schedule, which Coach Wernz is in charge of that, did a great job of finding like opponents too. You don't want to get in conference play and kind of be surprised by how certain teams play. You want to kind of face that already. And then, for us, is we have one non-Division I, but to be able to play like-minded Division I opponents, we've made a lot of progress. Unfortunately, it hadn't showed up in the way that I wanted it to in terms of wins and losses, but if you look at my time at DU, we've gradually gotten better and made progress. So our non-conference this year is really designed to set us up to be able to compete with, South Dakota State, with South Dakota, North Dakota State, and hopefully the style of play that we can see already, so we're not surprised in conference play.
Absolutely.
I want to stay on the defensive side of the ball. I know you like the you like the offense, but I want to talk about defense because you have a Summit League Defender of the Year coming back this year. How much has she helped you make those adjustments on the defense? Because you said you've made some adjustments this year. How has she been a leader on that side of the ball?
I think for her, just being that presence. Last year, her being Defensive Player of the Year, just being able to finish plays. We were able to play around with a lot of things late defensively, and I think it helps her. I think she does a great job. If she's not blocking a shot, she's contesting the shot, altering the shot, so having that presence in the paint, her being active. For Kay to be 6'3" and mobile the way that she is, she really has been tremendous for us, which is giving me the confidence to try a couple things defensively. Like I said, we ended the year that way, and we've been able to kind of accelerate in some areas because of having a player like her back. So we're excited for her to be back, and I know she's worked a little bit offensively to be able to add that piece as well.
We're talking about Michaela Minute, and 6'3" grad senior. She's from Chicago, Illinois. And I use that term, that grad senior thing, because I think that's important, right? And we know in this kind of world of college basketball, the wild, wild west of the portal that is, how much does that mean? Like, it has to give you some confidence, a little bit of calm as a head coach to say, you know what, this kid's coming back and she's going to be here. We can build around that along with some of your other returners. What kind of confidence does that give you? And what does that say about a player like her saying, yeah, I want to come back, I'm going to do this?
Definitely for her to be named Defensive Player of the Year and to have that person, to have her come back as a player, I think if you ask, we have 9 players returning, and a lot of our current sophomore class, Emma Smith, you guys will talk to her shortly. We recruited them with the hopes that, we talk about it and we don't just say it, we work at it, we believe it, that they're going to be the class to change DU basketball. Mm-hmm. And I think to have somebody with Kay's experience to be able to be a part of that. So we're very excited that she's able to come back. And, you look at the portal and how that's been impactful. I actually decided to go opposite, right? We have 9 freshmen or sophomores on the team. Yeah. And I like 4-year kids. That's my intention now, whatever decision they make in the spring, they're going to make. But I really get a couple kids out of the portal, but I like to be able to see that growth in our kids. So you'll continue to see us sign 4-year kids.
That's great.
How important is that balance in college basketball nowadays?
Why we still have this kind of COVID year, I think is important. Again, last year we knew we'd need a couple grad transfers to balance out the young class that we had. We knew they were talented, but as I keep saying, you can teach a lot, you just can't teach experience, and that's what they didn't have. Last year's just throw them out to the wolves. Even somebody like Emma, who honestly was just going to be a regular student at DU and ended up being obviously much more than that for us, and she was going to be on a team regardless. She wasn't just not going to walk around campus on my watch.
So we know where she was.
Yeah, exactly. It was going to find a talent like that. So it really has been helpful in that piece. I think we have one more year, kind of the COVID, and then I think the portal will calm down. I think right now it's so new and fresh, and some people get in there thinking that, there's a lot in there, and you get in there and probably should have stayed where you were.
Yeah. The grass isn't always greener.
No,
right?
Sometimes it's brown when you get in there. Sometimes it's brown.
There's no grass. There's no place to go.
You have 9 returners on this team. From some of the other teams you've talked about with and so far, they have a lot of new girls on these teams, a lot of new faces in these programs. How is that a strength for Denver this year?
It's a huge strength. I think the players know each other now. And, last year we were just I felt like a fish out of water. So everyone was just happy to be there. Playing a year together, even somebody like JoJo Jones for us, she was Gatorade Player of the Year in Wyoming and came in and had a huge adjustment. I think it was reality hit her in the face. And she's put in so much work this summer of just okay, let me decide what type of player I want to be and how I need to work. But for her to have that experience of last year, I say the Summer League really doesn't know who she is because she was hurt virtually the entire Summer League play. But it really has helped us. And where we are now, I go back and look at my practice plans from the first 2 years, and I'm okay, pat myself on the back because we're so much more advanced than where we were. And a lot of that's because we do have people returning now. Again, we needed to translate in the right ways, but we've been able to implement a lot. If we needed to play a game today, it might be ugly, but we could play it. Mm-hmm. We have enough things in. So it really has been nice to help us accelerate and actually start tweaking a lot of things sooner.
Culture is a big word in college athletics, Coach. Everybody talks about it. It's the buzz thing. It's in recruiting. It's everywhere. So if you had to put a bow on culture around Denver women's basketball, what is it that you hold to the highest level with your young women in and out of the locker room?
Oh, great question. Y'all just firing away. I'm going to say this. You follow us on any social media, you'll see us say hashtag progress is both the word and the acronym. The acronym is basically our core values, right? The P is passion, resilience, ownership, gratitude. I'm huge on gratitude. Realistic, because you need to be realistic about, where you are and where you want to be in the work that you're putting in. Those things have to match up. Our big word this year is elevate. I feel like culture-wise, we've been able to shift a lot of things in the first couple of years. And this year's our chance to elevate on the court. We want to really make that move on the court. Selfless and then service, right? Mm-hmm. And the service piece for us is you see us around campus and the community a lot. So our culture is one that we talk about, but we talk about it in a way that we just try to live it.
Yeah.
There's been, practices for us are always open. So when people come in and they can feel the culture, there's always a lot of energy. I don't like low energy people. The team will tell you. So it's always that. But our culture is one that is best explained when you spend time with us and you see it. That everybody really has a chance to thrive and grow in a way that makes sense for them.
Excellent.
I'm glad you said we had good energy early on in the show.
Now I feel like we'd be okay.
You hopefully passed a test.
We could get in practice.
We can hang out in Denver. Is what you're saying.
I mean, we're going to practice. I feel okay. I feel okay then. I wouldn't feel that
you can't come in low energy.
No, you got to be ready to go.
Yeah, and that's my mom's fault. I swear. That's how I was raised. It's like if you up, you're up. Don't come sauntering through the house. So that's how
it's okay. We all blame things on our moms.
Exactly.
That's how it works. I get blamed all the time. It's fine.
Before we wrap things up, I do want to give a quick shout out. So there's a mini documentary coming about you and your journey through just your life in basketball, of course. How do you draw on those experiences growing up in hardship and try to implement them in how you teach these young women at Denver?
Oh, y'all just great with these questions. Good. I think for me to grow up the way that I did, it's always been a motivator. And honestly, I had to learn that my life is hard, right? A lot of trauma, and I can't coach our kids. For some, basketball may be the hardest thing they go through, and I think to be able to learn from them, honestly, because when I step on the floor, it's always been a sanctuary for me, whether it's as a player, as a coach. I know what was before and how hard I had to work to get here and those obstacles I had to come through. So to be able to have that to kind of tap into, but then also be confident enough to what does it look like for them, right? My trauma doesn't have to be their trauma. What does their experience look like? But to be able to kind of put things in perspective for them. So I'm fortunate to be able to have the platform to talk about it. And it's funny because I talk about it in a way that, not everybody grew up like this when you get down to it, but it is nice to know that I have inspired some people to kind of like share their truth. And, I think it's also one of those things you don't know what you can be until you see it. And I know for me, a lot of people inspired me to get to this point, and so it's my way to pay it forward by sharing my story.
If you can see it, you can be it, Coach. Thank you so much for the time. Best of luck to you in Denver this season. We'll hang out with Emma Smith coming up next. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Go Pios.
Thanks.